Oh, and don't worry, I wash my hands. But honestly, what does it matter to you? You're not eating this. This is for me and mine. Okay. Hello. Uh. Sorry. Ignore me. I'm a little weird. I am Cari, and this is going to be my first episode of, I'm gonna call this Cooking with Cari. Basically, I'm just going to cook and talk because there's no one else to talk to except for my 3-month-old child who doesn't understand what I'm saying. But anyway, so introduction. My name is Cari. I like to cook. Cooking with Cari. Also wanted to find a way to make money on the internet. Googled it. They said YouTube was the best way to do that. And with a 3-month-old, it is kind of difficult to find time to record or anything like that. So I gotta do it while I cook. Today I'm making fried eggplant and some rice and red beans. Not sure if I should do a side of green beans. We'll see how that plays out later on. So right now I'm just going to chop my eggplant with my freshly sharpened knife. And don't worry, my child is being watched. He's like literally like right there. Like I can see him. But anyway, so talking while I chop. I decided to start this because I have a lot of questions about motherhood. I was kind of thrusted into motherhood. I wasn't supposed to be a mother. And I know that's gonna sound crazy. Hold on. For as long as I can remember, no kids. That was a no for me. I was never gonna have kids. I'm 30 now. Okay, so. But anyway, so I was never gonna have kids. That was kind of the whole MO for me. I was just not gonna do it. It wasn't the thing for me. How did I become a mother then? How do you have a 3-month-old then, Cari, if you never wanted children? Well, funny story. About almost a year ago, I met this guy. We hit it off. It was like love at first sight, the whole thing. I saw him, the world stopped. Anyway, there was that. So, fast forward, we move in together, all the fun things. Clearly we are doing the do. And I decide, if we're gonna keep doing this, I should probably get on birth control. I decide to make an appointment to get on birth control. I missed my period. Let me say this. That was the only sign I had that I might have been pregnant. I missed a period. One. That is very important for later on in the story. I missed one period. So, I missed my period and I'm like, oh, maybe it's just late. I wait a week. I wait 2 weeks. It is now the next month and I still haven't gotten my period. And I was like, yeah, you really want to be in this that bad? That is baby Justin. But anyway, I missed my one period. My periods are always like, they weren't right on time every single time. Like depending on if I was eating trash or if I was like stressed out, they'd be like off by a week or two. So when I first missed it, I wasn't really that concerned. When it came to the next month and I still hadn't gotten my period, that was when I started to be concerned. And boyfriend was like, maybe you should take a pregnancy test. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm not pregnant. This is not a thing. We're not going there. Mind you, my OBGYN appointment is in a week to start birth control. So I take a pregnancy test. Turns out I'm pregnant. That little line did not even wait. Like I peed. They were like, wait 15 minutes. A minute later, lines. That was it. So I'm like, oh, I'm pregnant. Immediately, my mind is abort mission. We are not continuing with this. So that's what I decide I'm gonna do. Abort mission. All you pro-lifers out there, don't say nothing. If there is anyone out there who has aborted a mission, this is what I'm gonna call it now, has aborted a mission, that shit is not easy. It is difficult. I went in that room. Well, I was in the waiting room. I didn't even make it to the actual room. I was in the waiting room filling out paperwork. Had a full-blown panic attack. I couldn't do it. I was in there. I filled out all the paperwork. The lady called me up to give her my money, and I started crying. Tears rushed. Couldn't do it. So I go back out into the car because my boyfriend was not allowed to go in there with me. So I was just in there by myself, which probably did not help. So I'm sitting in the car. I'm literally having a panic attack. I'm crying. I'm like, I can't do this. What am I gonna do? And he goes, why don't we just go home? Like, that's his response. I'm having a full-blown anxiety attack, and he's just like, let's just leave. And I was like, I can't leave. And I was going through all these things, and I was like, what about this? What about this? We barely know each other, da 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 da. And he goes, we can just leave. And so we left. And I didn't do it. And I'm very grateful, but you know, circumstances and all the things. So I don't judge anyone who has done it or needs to do it. It is difficult. It is not an easy decision. It's hard. That's all I can say. Sorry, I heard a noise. It's hard. It is. It's hard. But can I help you? Yeah. Needs maybe. But anyway, so there was that. I didn't do it. I tell my family. I go to my OBGYN appointment. Hold on. I go to my appointment. This is the baby. I'm not gonna show his face, just the back I said. I go to my appointment, which is, this is a week later. I go to my appointment. I get there, and it's supposed to be a well woman's visit, but I told them, you know, I think I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. That's what I told them. I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. And they go, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, for the pregnancy test, it was positive. So I tell them I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. I took a pregnancy test, it was positive. So they make me take a pregnancy test there. I take a pregnancy test, it's positive. And they, you know, decided to see how far along I am, because they was like, oh, well, how far along are you? And I was like, I don't think I'm that far along. You know, like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks in. I missed a period. So max probably a month. And they say, okay. So they say, let's, you know, do an ultrasound just to check. They do the ultrasound. Turns out I am a whole 4 months pregnant. So, in the state of Florida, I would not have been legally allowed to get an abortion anyway. Which is why I say I was thrusted into pregnancy, or thrusted into motherhood. But that's not the point. The point is, remember, I only missed 1 period. That's the only symptom I had. I missed a period. Flabbergasted, let me tell you. I was in shock. I was shooketh. But anyway, that aside. So I found out that I was 4 months pregnant. It was a boy. I find pretty much all of this out like within like 3 weeks. I was thrown into this. Like, they said, congratulations, you're pregnant, it's a boy, what would you like to name him? I was 4 months pregnant, no signs, no symptoms. And then 2 months later, I got a bump. The bump got bigger. And then I started getting symptoms. That's when the symptoms came. Like around 6 months into my pregnancy. Started getting nauseous, super tired, all the fun stuff. Swollen knees. Yeah, they tell you about the ankles, but they don't tell you about the knees. My knees were swollen, large. I could barely walk. But anyway, I digress. So, thrusted into motherhood. blessed with this beautiful baby boy. But remember, I didn't want to be a mother. This was not something that I had planned for. Like my friend Natalie, who just had her baby as well, we're like pregnancy sisters. But anyway, that's not the point. So she just had her baby too, and she has always wanted to be mom. Like that's the thing. She was gonna have a fantastic career, which she does. She's gonna marry an awesome man, which she did. And then they have a beautiful baby. He is literally the cutest. But anyway, she planned for this. She was like, I'm gonna have a baby. I remember the day of her wedding because I was a bridesmaid. And as soon as the wedding was over, we're all dancing and partying. And we're like, what are you gonna do next? And she's like, we're having a baby. She was ready for it. Me, not at all. I was not ready. I was not ready. And I have a lot of questions. Like a lot of questions. So I wasn't ready for a lot of things. And I still don't think I'm ready for any of the things. Like, first of all, the day I gave birth, that was really like an emotional moment for me. Like, cause I decided that I didn't want anyone in the room with me. Not my mother. I barely wanted my boyfriend there, but I allowed him to be there because, well, it is his baby and he really wanted to be a part of it. Like, he was like, I want to be there for you, all the fun stuff. So I wanted him to be there. And my sister lives in California, so I didn't think she was going to be able to make it because we didn't know when I was going to give birth. So I was like, oh, I don't want anyone in the room. That's it. Well, the day I got my contractions, I was scared. This went by really quickly for me. Like, I literally found out I was pregnant, and then like 6 months later, I was giving birth. I literally had 5 months of pregnancy before I was giving birth. So I didn't really like get a chance to mentally prepare myself. Like, I went and got the books, what to expect when you're expecting. I was a previous teacher, so like dealing with young minds is not new to me. But I got the books, I reread my textbooks, like I tried to prepare myself the best way I could. There was not a baby shower because that was a whole fiasco. I will save that story for another video. I will say thank you, Natalie. You're amazing and you did save my life. I love you. So, I didn't want anyone in the room because I wasn't ready. So the day I start having contractions, it started like early in the day. Like I woke up and I was feeling like a little crampy. If you know, you know. So I was like, I think these are contractions. So, and then that's the good part. 'Cause like the first part, you like kind of think they're contractions, and then they start turning into full-blown actual contractions. And that's when shit hits the fan. The first person I can think to call is, well, my mother, because who else do I know that has gone through birth? My mother. So I call her and I'm like, I think I'm having contractions. She tells me what to do. She like walks me through all the things, which I'm very grateful for. And my boyfriend, as much as he wanted to be there for me, was completely useless. In shock the entire time. He did not know what to do. He did not know what to think. He just sat there and was like, are you okay? Would you like water? Go away. Ended up going to my mom's house because it started like that morning, and then like around 10 o'clock that evening they got really bad. So we ended up going to my mom's house and like staying over there because I didn't know what to do, and he was like, I don't know what to do, and if things get worse, we need to go to your mom's house. So that's where we went. I ended up going to the hospital like around 11, 12. They admitted me. They were gonna send me home. Listen to this, because they were gonna send me home. But my blood pressure spiked and they were worried. So they kept me. I literally gave birth like within a few hours after that. If they would have sent me home, my ass would have gave birth in that bathtub. Unmedicated, because by the time I wanted medication, they were like, it's too late, you literally have 2 centimeters left. And I was like, So just breathing, lots of breathing. They stuck a peanut between my legs. That was interesting, but Google it if you know what it is. So then he came, slid out, just, and I had a baby. Literally 5 months prior to that, I found out I was pregnant, and now I have a tiny little human being that I love more than life itself, but I don't know what to do. They plopped this baby into my arms, and as happy and high as I was scared shitless. I was just like, it's a baby. like you literally see it in my face, and I am like in shock and in awe that there's a baby now. So I have a baby and I don't know what to do. So I remember being in the hospital, tired, groggy. They don't let you sleep while you're in the hospital. It is the most annoying thing ever. Well, it was for me. I was like, come in here and check my vitals one more time, see what happened. Come and check my baby's vitals one more time, see what happened. I was ready to fight every nurse in the hospital that came in my room. I was like, get close. I dare you. But anyway, I digress. And actually, my sister also ended up being there and recorded the whole thing. I did not think I wanted that, but I was actually glad she did, because I went back and rewatched it, because I disassociate with trauma sometimes. So I don't actually remember giving birth. I just remember being in pain and then blinking. There was water everywhere, and then another blink and there was a baby in my arms. I don't remember any of the in-betweens. So I did enjoy the video because I got to re-experience it fully. I thank her for that. Thank you, sister. Oh, that was not the sister in California. It's a different sister. I'll get into my whole family later. But anyway, my sister was there. She recorded it. I liked it. I didn't want it at first, but I didn't realize it was happening because she was doing it in secret. Apparently, she got the whole thing. From the moment I got to my mom's house and was like, I'm in labor pains, she was recording me. So I saw the whole thing unfold. So there was that. Sorry, my ADHD brain gets off track and I spew into other things. But if you like me, please comment, and subscribe. But anyway, that's not the point. All right, so moving on. I was actually glad that I had my mom in the room because it was a traumatizing experience. I didn't know what to do or how to feel or how to act or any of the things. Hold on, I'm gonna get some paper towels so I can let my eggplant sweat. That's a real thing. I was really glad that I let her stay with me because baby daddy was no help. He paced in panic the entire time. Paced in panic the entire time. And I mean, it's understandable. He didn't know what the heck to do. He didn't know what was going on. I do not get angry for him at that. But, so I'm glad I had my mom there, which was basically the moral of that point. And then also, if anybody else had an experience like that, could you let me know? I wanted to know if I was the only one, because my mom was really sad when I told her I don't want you in the room, and she was like, what do you mean? Where am I gonna be? And I was like, outside somewhere, just waiting, because of how fast everything went and me disassociating and not having my mentor there. She actually was there to hold my hand and walk me through the whole thing, and I was really thankful for it. I ended up thanking her afterwards. I was like, thank you for being here. She was like, oh, where else would I be? But if anybody else had an experience like that, please let me know. Let me know I'm not crazy and mean to my mother. So there was that. And then also bringing the baby home was very surreal because you have this little tiny thing wrapped up, and then they're like, he needs to see a pediatrician within the day type deal. And he's just so little and so tiny and so fragile, and he's mine, and I'm supposed to protect him from this horrendous world that we live in. And sorry if I offend anyone by saying that, but the world is horrendous. I'm sorry. Like, there's so much, I don't know. It gives me anxiety, like literally thinking about my child growing up and having to live in this world. It gives me actual physical anxiety. And if anyone else experiences that, please let me know so that I don't feel like I'm alone and this crazy person, because I often feel like a crazy person and that I'm going to deprive my child of living because I'm anxious. But anyway, so again, I'm digressing on that point. But it's just a surreal moment, and I again like did not know what to do. Like, he would cry, I would feed him, he would sleep, and I felt like it's a very weird thing because like you're on like this high for a bit and then you come down and you know you feel all the things and then you back up again and then you come down. It's just like this roller coaster of emotions almost. Or is it just me? Somebody, you had the same experience when you brought your baby home? Please let me know. I just need to know that I'm not alone out there in the world. Like, because I went through the highs and lows, and like they literally came like contractions. Like, it was just like 1 minute up there, happy, and then the next minute I was just like, I'm not moving. I don't want to move. I can't. And then I started getting really bad intrusive thoughts, and like, what if I drop him? What if I'm too tired to carry him? It was just a whole thing. Currently seeking help because I went through that for a little bit and then it was better, and so I was like, oh, I don't need help. And then it started happening again, like recently. I was having the highs and the lows again. So if anyone who has had more than one child has gone through this, like, is that normal? Is that like a thing? Like, do you experience the highs and lows at different points and different times? I don't know. Just let me know. If I'm crazy, please tell me. Put it in the comments. Be like, bitch, you crazy. Go get help. Why you got a kid? Tell me those things. Because I need to know. I need to know. I need to compare. I need mommy friends. Well, I have Natalie. She lives in Colorado. She's awesome. And I love her so much. And she literally just got home and was telling me she was walking a whole freaking mile a day. And I was like, bitch, you just gave birth. Like, she literally gave birth 2 days ago and has been going on mile hikes. I was like, I could barely walk. My vagina was broken. My asshole was broken. Everything was broken. But anyway, again, I digress. I'm sorry about that. So I just want to know, like, am I crazy? Should I go seek help? I need to know these things. So I didn't know what to do. And then I would feel like a bad mom because I would remember that I wanted to, abort mission. I mean, I didn't, thank goodness. But like, I would think about when I wanted to, and I was like, I'm fucked up. Not to say that anyone who has, like, you should not feel bad about yourself. I understand that's a difficult situation, and if you don't know, you don't know, and you should shut the fuck up about it. That's all I gotta say. But I would look at my baby, and I love him, and to think that I almost didn't have him, it kind of almost makes me feel a little bit selfish. I feel bad. Like, sometimes I almost feel like a bad mom. I feel trash. I feel like trash. Not gonna lie. And then that sends me down, and I don't like it. It is what it is. I'm just salting the eggplant so that it can sweat. You cook that plant, you know. If you know, you know. If you never cooked it, you don't know. Also, I am a vegan, so if I continue this cooking with Cari, you will see only vegan meals being cooked up in this household. And yes, my child will be eating vegan. There's that. Sometimes it makes me feel like a trash can. It gets me down a bit. But I have to think that he is here. And deserves all the loves and the hugs and the kisses and the everything. I wish I could give him literally the entire world. Like if I could take the world, make it a beautiful, wonderful place with no human beings on it, and then give that to him, and then give him all the stars and the moon, and then I would do it. But alas, I cannot. Anyway, again, digressing. I've gotten off topic again. Another thing that really shook me to my core was that I found out that I was not selfless. Yeah, that's a whole thing. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm making my marinade. Alright, but yeah, so I didn't know that I wasn't selfless. I, in my mind, thought I was the most caring, giving person. Like, whenever someone needed me, I was there. I was so dependable. People could always count on me. I will drop everything for my friends. Sorry if this is loud. I got onion flakes instead of onion powder, like a crazy person. I don't know if I'm not supposed to show you the brand. Anyway, so yeah, I realized that I did that. And even though I was selfless and giving to people, it was kind of in a selfish way, if it makes sense. Like, how do I explain it? Like, I would only do it on my terms. Like, I would only be selfless if I could, if I wanted to. Which I did, for the most part, want to do these things. But having a baby really takes away your autonomy. I'm going to say that. Having a baby takes away your autonomy. You are not your own person. Or at least that's how I feel. If you are also having that experience, please let me know. Because sometimes I feel like a crazy person. So if you're also a crazy person, yay. If you are not, please just let me know. Just be like, bitch, you crazy, go get help. But I feel like being a mom has taken away my autonomy. Like, I am no longer like myself. I struggle to hold on to that little piece of me, and to doing the things that I like to do. Like, we read. I'm an avid reader. Love to read. Back when I was teaching first grade, I would read to my students all the time, and I do that with him, which I honestly love. It is my favorite thing. He is 3 months old, but let me tell you, he can get into a book. Okay? We are currently reading the Chronicles of Narnia. We're on book 1. We're almost done. We're on chapter 12. I digress. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, it's very hard for me to find me. Like, everything I do revolves around him. He is the end all be all. My world revolves around him. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Hold on. Sorry, I had to get some things out. That was a hard pill to swallow, that, like, I don't get to choose when to be selfless anymore. Like, it is just something that is expected of me. Now, granted, I love my baby. I do. I swear, he's the most wonderful thing that's ever happened to my life. But he has now become my entire life. And sometimes I find it hard to remember who I was before he existed. Like, I didn't want to be a mom at all. And now, being a mom is my whole life. Like, it's my whole life. Like, I'm in it. Like, it's hard. I don't know. And sometimes I feel bad about not being who I am. Like, not being the person that I used to be and wanting her back. And then I feel bad about not having her. Like, I want to be her again. Like, sometimes, sometimes I just want to be me. Like, I want to be in my space. I'm kind of a loner. That's why I love my boyfriend, because he leaves me alone. And I love being in my own space, but I can never do that again. And then I feel bad wanting that back, because then I feel like I'm not wanting my baby, but I want him. I don't know. It's freaking crazy. And then I feel like a bad mom because I feel like I'm blaming him. And then I'm living this miserable life, which I'm really not. Like, I don't know. If someone can put that into better words, please put that into better words. Or if no one else feels like this, and then just be like, bitch, you crazy. Please go get help. Nah. But I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, marinade is made. I'm actually gonna let this sweat a little more. I like to let it marinate for a few minutes, so I'm not gonna start my rice and beans just yet because they're super quick and easy. So I'm gonna start chopping my onions. I know I need a bigger kitchen. I love to cook in this tiny little apartment kitchen. It's just not cutting it. It's not. Seaweed snack. So, anyway, if anyone's feeling the same, please let me know. Or, tell me I'm crazy. So I'm only gonna do like maybe a quarter of this onion because I don't need my beans being like super oniony. I just need a little flavor. A little texture. Someone please help me and tell me if I'm crazy. But, so my brain doesn't work the same. Like when I was pregnant, it was pregnancy brain, it was funny, and it was cute. And then I gave birth, and it didn't go away. And they said, oh, just give it a few months. We're almost 4 months in. Anyway, so my brain does not know how to brain. I can't word anymore, and also I can't read. So, disclaimer, I have dyslexia. But it's not that bad. I can still read. Like I said, I'm an avid reader. Love it to read. But yeah, ever since getting pregnant and having a baby, sometimes like I'm reading and I don't know how to read anymore. Words just like they don't word. My brain forgets words, so I'll be like talking and I will completely forget the word to the object. Like, here's an example. Okay, yeah. Actually, literally just last night. So, it was the end of the night, and I was wanting to watch like a TV show, but me and my boyfriend, we don't really like watch TV like that. Like sometimes we put a show on just, like as background noise or whatever. So I was like, oh, let's watch something. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, so which, I was trying to think of the word streaming service. And I'm sitting here looking, because I have the Roku, the little squares, like Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix. So, and I'm sitting here and I'm pointing at the boxes. I was like, which one of the, and I literally lived the word streaming wiped from my memory. And I was like, which one of the boxes do you want to watch? And he looked at me like I was like an alien. He said, which one of the what? The boxes, the squares. Oh, also, I'm a housewife now. I'm sorry, I was traumatized as a child, okay? So, strong, independent black woman, that's me. I get my own shit. I buy my own shit. I have my own accounts. I don't need nobody for nothing. So, like, now I don't make my own money. And I stay home and I cook and clean and I watch after the baby. And that's my life. We go on walks with Caesar, my dog. I miss working. I know that sounds crazy. I will take a 13-hour shift at the clinic any day. I'm sorry. He's a lot of work. He drains me. I love him though. My favorite thing is just go. It's my little shot of dopamine. his neck roll. Okay, yeah, it's also, that's a thing. Other mothers have told me that they enjoy sniffing their babies' necks. I thought it was just me. So that I know I'm not crazy on. But if someone could scientifically explain to me why, but it smells good. It makes me happy. Yeah. So I'm gonna end this here. I may be back. If you want to see my finished meal, so sorry. It's not gonna happen today. I have to put this on pause now and go tend to tiny baby Justin. But yeah, so I gotta tend to my baby. This is my life now.